I didn't know what he had in mind, Al.
And then I reminded him the questions are all about himself. So he is already a subject matter expert.
Well, I may not know that either.
I know, we'll see. All right. So first tell us your name and how you got involved with Rotary.
I can handle the first part. Tom Cole, and it was kind of interesting because when I became the community coordinator at Taylor Automotive for all their dealerships, I was very fortunate to have that opportunity. And Mr. Taylor Sr. is heavily involved in Toledo Rotary. He loves it, talks about it all the time. And then I'm in the Hyundai office with Steve Jr. and he's kind of thought, well, you know, maybe you should get involved with the Perrysburg Rotary. And then coincidentally, Chet reached out to me, who was incredible. I mean, really, truly, he's got his beautiful daughter with him today. Chet was incredible and welcomed me in, and it's been a great opportunity, and certainly honored to have get to have lunch with all of you and share and learn all the great things that are going on in the community. So I thank you very much for that.
Okay. Next question, something on your weekend agenda.
Well, Saturday, Karen and I are babysitting our granddaughter Josie. Christy's mom is here. So we'll do that Saturday, and then Sunday I'm emceeing. Can I say mommy?
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, I don't want to make anybody mad here.
Are you doing the mommy auction?
No, I'm doing they have a cool thing at the theater on Sunday from 2 to 5. It's called the Community Film Festival, and they have special needs students and adults who make films. And I'm telling you, you don't even believe how great the films are. So I'm going to MC that on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Great. Mommy Rotary happens to have their little auction, so I thought maybe you were going to.
Well, they asked me to do something with that actually.
Did they? Okay.
I didn't want to be a traitor. I didn't want to be a traitor.
No, we're over that.
Your friends?
We're okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I'm going to do something.
Okay, so next question: a hobby you would have if time or money were no object?
Well, I'm already doing it. I love to write, and my wife and I put books together. So I'm working on. We just started our third book. So first two are sports books. Third one is going to be less about sports, a little bit about sports. So that's the hobby. I enjoy writing a lot. So yeah.
How about a local restaurant you love?
You know, we're keeping Perrysburg restaurants in business, my wife and I. I mean, you have so many great restaurants here. Stella's, we go to Stella's. Casa Barron's, we love. Bar Louie, Fifth Street. I mean, we're contributing to the economy a lot. Yeah, absolutely.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that. And then the last question, everyone's favorite question, something that everyone else seems to love, but you kind of hate.
Well, you know, I've always been a sports guy, and I don't know how many sports people are here, but sports are incredible. I've covered high school sports and college sports locally in our community, all the high schools, all the colleges, and the coaches and the kids, and you get a sense of how great these people really are. Sometimes I don't know if we know how great these kids are, how great these coaches are and teachers, and how influential they are in shaping kids' lives. They're encouragers. They make a difference every day, and you get to cover that. But in pro sports, I get tired of them talking about money. I love just the true nature of sports, and when they do all the shows about somebody just signed a $300 million contract in baseball, I'm thinking to myself, I'm glad he's getting paid, but $300 million, we have teachers and doctors and other people that need to be paid. $300 million, I think, is a little excessive. So money in sports on a professional level, I get tired of that.
Okay, good. Well, actually, your comments right before that were pretty appropriate about high school teachers having influence in life. So I have to tell you, you were a pick for the Fast Five, but there's a reason I asked you to do that today, and I want Greg Ruffty to join me right now. Greg has something special he wanted to say and do today.
So, first of all, Allison, thank you for allowing me a couple minutes to talk about something that's really important to me, and that's Rotary and being a Rotarian. And I've been in Rotary, I've been a member of Rotary since November of 2001. And I remember the day I was inducted, the last thing after the formalities that they said to me was, we've now made you a member of Rotary, but it's up to you to become a Rotarian. And I thought, well, what does that mean? What does it mean to become a Rotarian? So, through my eyes and my heart, I think what it means to be a Rotarian is live the four-way test, reach above yourself and provide service to others, and then the Paul Harris Fellow. And I've always felt that the Paul Harris Fellow was like the pinnacle of becoming a Rotarian. And let me tell you why. the first few years in Rotary, occasionally a member would stand up and they would tell you all about a member's achievements, accomplishments, both in their family, their career, and their contributions to the community. And I'd listen to this, and these people are like larger in life, and then they would present them as to signify that work, a Paul Harris Fellow. And so I thought, wow, this is huge. You may all remember in September we received a letter, and in the letter, Ken had taken the time to go through and look at where we all stood individually in terms of our credits towards becoming a Paul Harris Fellow through our monetary donations to the International Rotary Foundation. And I opened my letter, and it said that I had a Paul Harris Fellow, and I was well on my way to a second Paul Harris Fellow. And I thought to myself, well, first of all, I didn't even realize I had been a Paul Harris Fellow. And second of all, what have I done to deserve this Paul Harris Fellow? And about a month later, we had lunch at the Hilton Garden Inn, and Allison dedicated that meeting to talking about the Paul Harris Fellowship and explained different ways you become Paul Harris, and gave out Paul Harris certificates that day. And it occurred to me at that moment that I wanted to honor somebody that I felt lived a Rotarian life. So I thought about two leaders in my life. First one, was my father. Today is the 1-year anniversary of his passing. He's my dad, my coach, my mentor, my cheerleader, and my friend. He was never in Rotary, but he lived a Rotarian life. No other person has had a larger impact in my life than my dad. But there was another man who came into my life about 40 years ago. He was my coach, he was my mentor, he was a cheerleader, and he was my friend. And in a 30-second moment, he had an impact on my life that has shaped part of who I am. It was August of 1981. We were 2 weeks into two-a-day practices for football. I was a starting defensive cornerback, believe it or not. A damn good one. But I was also a cocky senior, and that hasn't left me at all. We were practicing offense for the first 2 weeks. And as a defensive player, I didn't feel that it was necessary for me to really concentrate on offensive drills. So one of the coaches in particular was riding me very hard, yelling at me. And as I ran past him, he grabbed I said, TC, get off my back. He grabbed me by the face mask and he stuck his nose right inside my helmet and he said, Ruffer, the day that I stop yelling at you is the day you better start worrying, because that's the day I don't care anymore. And he let go and he walked away. I went home that night and I thought about that encounter and what he said, and I thought to myself, do my mom and dad yell at me sometimes because they care? Am I only allowed to go out on a school night if it's a school activity because my mom and dad care? Do they want to know where I'm at all the time? Not because they want to annoy me, but because they care. And I've told this story to my kids, my daughter's here, my employees, and anybody else who would listen for the last 40 years, including you today, because it had that large of an impact on my life. The only way that this person falls short of my dad is, literally speaking, he is not my dad. He is a dad. Christy, his daughter, is here. Karen, He's a great husband as well. Karen is here. I remember at football practice, Karen would pull up at the end of practice, and Christy she was about this high, would jump out of the car and run across the field and jump into TC's arms. And I still remember that to this day. So today, Tom Cole, on the anniversary of my father's passing and in the memory of his name, you are Karen's husband, you are Christy's dad, you're my coach, my mentor, my cheerleader, my friend. And from me to you, I present you the Paul Harris Fellow.
As part of Greg's gift to Tom, he actually earned his next Paul Harris. So there's your name too. Congratulations.